What's the worst to you moment you had with someone? My boyfriend's mother showed up at my apartment at 3 a.m. with a locksmith claiming I was holding her son hostage after I wouldn't let him move back in. Marcus and I dated for 2 years before I discovered he'd been stealing from my savings account to fund his online gambling addiction. $8,000 gone from the emergency fund I'd built working double shifts at the hospital. When I confronted him with the bank statements, he broke down crying and promised to get help. I gave him 1 month to move out and blocked his access to all my accounts. 3 weeks later, I woke up to pounding on my door and voices in the hallway. Through the peephole, I saw Marcus's mother Linda with 2 men I didn't recognize. One was picking my lock while she supervised like some kind of criminal mastermind. I grabbed my phone and started recording as they broke into my home. "Where is my baby?" Linda screamed, storming through my living room at 3:17 a.m. while I stood there in my pajamas. Marcus sent me a text saying you're keeping him prisoner and won't let him come home. I told her Marcus had been evicted for theft and showed her the police report I'd filed. She slapped the papers out of my hand and called me a gold-digging witch who corrupted her perfect son. The locksmith looked uncomfortable, but kept working on installing a new deadbolt while Linda directed him. "My son has rights to this apartment since he lived here," she declared. "I'm making sure he can come home whenever he wants." I called 911 while she rifled through my kitchen drawers, looking for what she called evidence of my crimes against her family. Police arrived within 10 minutes to find Linda had already changed my locks and was in my bedroom packing Marcus's things that I'd boxed up weeks earlier. She'd brought shopping bags and was also taking my jewelry box, claiming everything was community property. The locksmith tried to leave, but Linda had his tools in her purse as collateral until he finished installing her special locks. Officers arrested Linda for breaking and entering, theft, and conspiracy to commit burglary. The locksmith immediately cooperated, explaining she'd paid him $500 cash and told him I was a squatter in her son's apartment. He had texts from her promising another $500 if he installed locks that only she and Marcus would have keys to. During booking, police found 16 keys to my apartment in Linda's purse that she'd apparently had made over the past 2 years. She'd been letting herself in while I was at work to do Marcus's laundry and snoop through my belongings. They also found a notebook with my work schedule, bank information, and notes about my daily routines dating back months. Marcus was arrested the next day after police discovered he'd given his mother my social security number, and she'd been trying to open credit cards in my name. Turns out his gambling losses were closer to $30,000, most of it borrowed from loan sharks who'd been threatening him. His plan was to move back in, steal my identity, and use the credit to pay off his debts. Linda got 18 months in county jail, and Marcus got 2 years for identity theft and fraud. I had to move apartments, change jobs, and freeze my credit for 3 years. Last week, I got a letter from Linda in prison saying she forgives me for ruining her family and hopes I've learned my lesson about keeping a mother from her son. I framed it.